Hello everyone. On the 14th of October till the 4th of November 2020, Mercury, the messenger of the gods, will be turning retrograde. Mercury is the glue of our life that keeps everything ticking over. It's our day-to-day affairs, our business, our commerce, our ability to plan ahead. Everything goes into chaos when Mercury turns retrograde, but this time it's especially impactful because Mercury changes nakshatra at the same time he is combust with the sun. Let me explain what this means and also by all sign positions. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Let's begin. First of all, let me impart to you everyone a great secret of Mercury's retrograde motion. It occurs 3 times a year as Mercury pulls away from the orb of the sun, and the sun, to keep Mercury in orb, pulls Mercury back towards himself. It is said that at the moment of combustion, when Mercury is close to the sun at the same degree, Ravi the sun gives to Mercury secret and important information. This information is important for everybody in their lives. It is completely individualized according to your circumstance. It's a mystical and amazing experience. You should be ready for this. I will give you the dates in this transit. So how will everyone experience this situation? First of all, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Libra, a sign he is happy in because he is there to give justice and balance. But turning retrograde, he gives readjustment in your thinking. Libra is a sign of decision. A decision has to be made in everybody's life during this whole 3-week period. And this decision will depend on correct information, but you do not have it at the moment. It particularly impacts commerce, education, and particularly relationships, because these are all ruled by Libra. So monetary factors, business, education, relationships are dramatically impacted. Redecision, re-evaluation has to be made, and this 3-week period will change everything in these areas for many people. But the most important moment will be, everybody, 25th, 26th of October, when Mercury combusts the sun. As I say, listen out for your inner voice at that time. Find some meditation time, listen to your dreams, even listen to what other people tell you. Sometimes this message comes from others. But one thing I would most definitely advise: avoid divulging important information, everyone, to those you do not trust. Keep your plans under wraps between 28th of October until the 4th of November. Why? Because in this week, the most dangerous part of the whole transit, Mercury enters Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra is ruled by Mars. Mars is the enemy of Mercury, and making it even more dangerous, Mars is now having an 8th aspect onto Mercury at the same time that Saturn has a 10th aspect, a delaying and frustrating aspect. So society is going pretty crazy. Mars retrograde in the sign of the populace. All sorts of social unrest, violence, distress, and it will even come into your personal life. So you need to stay calm and not let yourself get agitated, because Mercury, most of all, inflames our speech. So let me take you through all of the signs now to show how this retrograde transit will affect you all by your Moon and Ascendant. So for Aries Moon and Aries Lagna both, this is a disconcerting time indeed. Mercury is the lord of your 3rd house, communications, and your 6th house, health and conflict with others. It's all happening now, but it's not in your control. That's the issue. Surprising information from spouse, surprising information from business partners, disconcerting factors about litigation and health issues are all coming to you now. Stay calm. You are jumping to the wrong conclusions probably. Mercury is your 3rd lord. Wires have been crossed in all sorts of communication. If you are in any sort of business, don't make any decision now. You're going to have to wait until you have correct information. Expect that spouse puts a lot of pressure on you now. You are feeling there is nowhere to hide from the changing factors in your life. Even siblings are not helpful to you now. They are actually also putting demands on you. If you have a health issue, which you may do, diagnosis is going to be delayed, but it's probably a good thing. Why? Your ruler Mars is retrograde in your 12th house. There are things which are hidden which need to be brought to light, but this is not the right time. Mars, though, makes you agitated and terribly frustrated. Watch your speech, Aries, particularly in that last week I have just talked about, 28th of October until the 4th of November. You're likely to snap and lose your temper big time, because Mars, your ruler, has an 8th aspect onto Mercury from Chitra, making you agitated, frustrated, and really angry. Hold fire, because major issues in your relationship will be inflamed when they do not need to be so. Taurus Moon, Taurus Lagna both. This transit's going to be quite good for you, actually. It's going to help you long term, but there may be delays and frustrations, obviously. Mercury is your 5th lord of good fortune and your 2nd lord of family affairs. There may be illness either in your family or in your own self right now, but this illness is going to be cured because Mercury is your 5th lord. But there is new diagnosis coming your way, either recently or during this transit. This new diagnosis causes you some concern. You do not know how to integrate it. Take your time. It's going to be worthwhile. Mars has an 8th aspect onto this Mercury, though. So all of these factors do not fit into your plans, particularly financially. Litigation may be delayed if you are involved in it. Conflicts with co-workers, conflicts in your life, particularly with children, are coming to the fore. Things need to be said, but you need to listen to your children too. They have information that you need to hear, and that includes family members. Surprising information from your family members definitely come to you during this time. So for Gemini Moon, Gemini Lagna both, your ruler Mercury retrograde sends you into a spin and makes you feel frustrated always. But if you only knew, these are the best times of the year for you, Gemini, because it makes you slow down and you get information which you missed. You find amazing threads that pull everything together if you just take a little bit of time to chill out, because Mercury is close to the Sun on those dates I have given you, and new amazing insights come to you for sure at that time. What's getting upset in your life this time is children issues, education issues, home life, maybe mother concerns also, and your career. My goodness, Mars retrograde, top of your chart, is sending you into a spin. There is so much pressure on you from superiors, you don't know where to go, and so much change happening so fast, you need to take a break from this. You don't know what your career direction is now. You think you do, but it's not right. So in these 3 weeks, new direction, education-wise, career-wise, and in regard to all home issues will definitely come into your sphere. Stay calm. For Cancer Moon and Cancer Lagna both, Mercury is the lord of your 12th and 3rd house, a difficult planet for you that causes great stress in your consciousness. When he goes retrograde, you feel it, and this time it's in the 4th house, your most important house. You're going to feel this tremendously because home life is the center of who you are. You may be wanting to move at this time, many of you, but it's going wrong. It's being delayed for a reason. You don't have the correct information. Many of you, that will come to you. Do not sign contracts if you can in this 3-week period. You are having contention in your domestic life, quarrels, difficulties, misinformation. Mother is of concern also. Siblings are not helping you. They are actually hindering your progress, but they want the best for you because Mercury has an aspect from Mars, which is contentious, coming from father's family also. So family members are not helping you. You need to take some time to yourself to make right decision at this time. Worst of all, and this is the most important factor, expenses are going out of control. You need to rein in expenses at this time. You may have to travel also, but it's going to be difficult because Mars has this 8th aspect showing huge delays in foreign and far distant travel at this time. For Leo Moon, Leo Lagna both, Mercury, Lord of your 2nd and 11th house, so important for your financial affairs, is retrograde in the 3rd house of your chart. This is going to cause huge delays in income, earnings and financial factors. More than that, Mars is in the 8th house of joint financial issues and business. So hold fire on any financial investments, Leo. Do not sign anything during this 3-week period. You do not have information which you need. Wages may be turning around and you are getting really concerned about your financial future now. Once again, Mars makes you too fearful here when you do not need to be so. Mercury indicates siblings as well. Retrograde in this house, he is definitely going to show that communication with family is fraught with difficulty at this time. Delays with computers, meetings, conferences, everything which you need to move forward with is not happening. It's a terribly frustrating time. Listen to your inner voice. You have strength at this time because Mars retrograde is giving you tremendous power, but it's hidden. So stay calm. Everything will sort once you get Mercury going direct again, and the delay in your financial affairs will be well worth the wait. For Virgo Moon and Virgo Lagna both, Mercury, your Lord, retrograde in the 2nd house shows that financial decisions have to be delayed, and it may be to do with partnership issues as well, because Mars has an 8th aspect onto this retrograde Mercury, which is your Lord. So family members and partners, spouse, indeed business concerns and business partnerships are not easy to deal with now. There may be quarrels because Mars is aspecting your 1st house. You find it hard to get agreement about important financial deals with other people at this time. Mars is your 10th house lord, so you want to take really fast action about your career, but other people are not helping you and the situation is not fluid. Hold fire. Just like Gemini, you get insights in that period when Mercury combusts with the Sun, as I discussed earlier on in the video. Listen to your inner voice. Any delays in financial and business concerns and career moves will be well worth the wait. So for Libra Moon and Libra Lagna both, Mercury is your 9th and 12th lord. He has so much to do with traveling, moving around in the world, foreign travel in particular, but it's all going to be mightily delayed in this 3-week. If you can avoid travel, Libra, I would strongly advise it because it's going to be frustrating and you're not going to get to your destination smoothly or easily at all. Mercury, though, is also helping you because he is your 12th Lord, he has information for you that you need to hear. Why is this? Because Mars has an 8th aspect onto Mercury, and he is your 7th Lord. You need to talk to partners at this time, big time. There are things unsaid that need to be heard, and it may be hard to hear, but you will be glad and relieved at these conversations. There is conflict ongoing in your life, and it's making you stressed. All of this stress comes to bear in a crisis in these 3 weeks. Particularly watch for harsh words flowing with partners, business concerns, etc. If you are in any self-employment, you need to take a back step because you do not have information which you need around marketplace issues. If you are in any litigation, it's going to come to a major standstill. You won't be able to proceed. For Scorpio Moon and Scorpio Lagna, Mercury is the lord of your 11th and 8th house. He contains much knowledge and wisdom for you, and he helps you to gain income. He is retrograde in your 12th house of expenses. Oh my goodness, it's going to be difficult financially for you in these 3 weeks. You may think as though there is no end to the drain of expenses at this time, but it's going to work out fine. You see, Mars has an 8th aspect onto this Mercury. Mars is your lord. So you are pushing too hard now, and you need to take your foot off that accelerator, Scorpio. You may need meditation time alone to rethink financial plans at this time. If you have children, it's going to be contentious. But once again, you need to take time to reflect because there are factors that you are not aware of. Any of you in education, it's a fraught time. Mars is your ruler, retrograde in the 5th house of education. You may have to leave a course. You may have to review education in a big way at this time. Sagittarius, Moon and Lagna. Mercury is the lord of your 7th house, partnership, spouse, 10th house, career. He pushes your life forward. He supports you, but now he is retrograde. This is a difficult moment for conversations with spouse, with anyone in an intimate relationships. Do you have the same goals? Are you pushing forward in the same way? There is simply lack of communication between you, and it needs to be remedied. Home life is active but in disarray. Home moves may have to be stalled, and career is impacted greatly. You may have to revisit career changes at this time as new information becomes available. Many of you have to have difficult talks with your boss or superiors because income is directly affected at this time. It's a time for listening to your inner voice, but it's such an active, changeable time that it isn't easy. So hold tight. For Capricorn Moon and Capricorn Lagna, Mercury is the lord of your 9th house of foreign affairs and education and your 6th house of health and conflicts. Retrograde in your 10th house of career. We can see the conflict you are undergoing now. You need time to take reconsideration of your career direction. Conflicts with co-workers loom heavily now. There may be health issues, health concerns, which are really affecting your career in a major way. You need new information to reassess them, and they will become available to you in this time. Talking to your father is very important, or to teachers, or to anybody in authority. They have information you did not expect. Listen carefully to them. Siblings and people in your family, though, are pushing for you to make sudden decisions. do not do so. Stay calm at this time. Expect all sorts of meetings delayed, communications delayed, because Mars aspects here from your third house of communications. You need a little bit of a break at this time, but you can't find that at all. If you want to travel abroad, I would advise delaying, because it's going to be frustrating in the extreme. For Aquarius, Moon and Lagna, Mercury, Lord of your 8th and 5th house, is mostly to do with finances and education, is actually retrograde in the 9th house of higher education, foreign travel, father issues. You need, if you are in education, to listen to your teachers now, because you are not getting correct information about what is available to you, and you are just about to really make a wrong decision. Don't make any decision about education courses in this next 3 weeks. Hold fire. If you need to go abroad, which you may do, many of you, it's going to be difficult with many delays, but you may not be able to avoid this. Financially, for everybody, it's hectic. Family are putting pressure on you, and business affairs are in real disarray now. So, new decisions will be made, but this next 3 weeks are not the time to push for your view of the future. But Mercury is your Lord of good fortune, so do not fear. All of these delays, particularly financial affairs, education affairs, are going to work out fine for you in the end. For Pisces, Moon and Pisces, Lagna both, Mercury is your 7th Lord and 4th Lord. He affects your intimate relationships, partner and business affairs, and your 4th house of home. Retrograde in your 8th house. There are hidden factors. People are not being honest with each other in relationships and in home life. There is a fear of expressing true feelings. More than that, Mars retrograde in your 1st house is making you frustrated with this. You want to move things on. You feel like you are not being supported by important others in your life. You may try to push things now because Mars has an 8th aspect on this Mercury. Avoid aggression. Try and avoid pushing confrontations with intimate others. It will unravel as Mercury goes direct after 4th of November. You need to spend some time in occult study, meditation, spiritual practices now, because calm is necessary with this agitating aspect of Mars onto Mercury. Other people will be open with you at the right time, and all of your fears will most definitely dissipate. Hope the information was helpful to you all. Don't forget to sub below if you have not done so already. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.